Welcome back, guys. In this video I'll show you how I made this dress you're seeing. Okay, this is the recreation. The inspo is the one on my thumbnail. So this is a kimono, fitted kimono dress with this built up neckline design, and then there's this bias, velvet bias on the knee area. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to cut it. Like I said, it's a cut together fitted dress. Okay, so I folded my fabric into two. I'm going to be cutting the back first because it has a zipper. Sorry, I'm cutting the front first, the front piece first. I use the front to cut the back because the back has a zipper at the back. So I drew my starting point, and from there I'm going to mark the length of my kimono sleeve. Okay, so to get my full length, what I do is to mark my shoulder, and then I mark the from my shoulder I mark the length I want to get my full length, which is exactly what I marked. Remember, I'll be attaching an asoke on the sleeves, so just walk around the length you want. And from there I came down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and then from my shoulder slope I marked my sleeve opening. Okay, so I marked a sleeve opening of um 10 inches. All right, and then I added 1 inch to make it 11 inches. Okay, so from there from my starting point I'm going to mark my waist line. Just mark a straight line, and then mark my hip line, and then mark from my waist to my hip is 8 inches. I'm going to mark it with a straight line, and then my full length. Now the length of this ankara is 45 inches, and of course it's not going to be as long, so I had to, because of the pattern of the ankara, I didn't want to fold it the other way so that it doesn't spoil the pattern, so I had to join to the down part to make it longer since it's a maxi gown. All right, so now I've marked out all my measurements. I'm going to go ahead and mark my neckline. So I did a neckline of 3.5 by 3.5. That is, sorry, 3.5 by um yeah, 3.5 for the width, right? For the width, 3.5. Okay, for the back, the depth, I'm going to do 1 inch. So I'm just marking 1 inch as a guide. Remember, we're cutting the front. The front is a v-neck, but I just marked 1 inch, which is for the back, but we would cut the front later on, the front neckline later on. So I connected my neck width to the shoulder slope that I have on there, and then the next thing I'm going to mark is my bust circumference on that line that I marked down, yeah, for my sleeve opening. Okay, so I'm going to mark my bust circumference divided by 4 plus 1 inch seam allowance. I did 1 inch seam allowance. You can do 1.5 depending on what you like. All right, and then I added half inch for ease allowance. This is because I didn't want it to be so tight fitted. As you can see, it's not tight fitted, there's a little bit of looseness, so just add half inch so it's not so hugged on your skin. So I did the same thing for my waist. My waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch seam allowance for the and half inch um ease allowance. That is a total of 1.5 for all the allowance. Same thing for my hip divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch. Okay, 1 inch seam allowance, half inch ease allowance. So whatever I have on my hip, I'm going to bring it down to my hem with a straight line. Remember, it's a straight gown. Okay, and it has a slit, so you determine how long the length of your slits. All right, so this is the front. I'm going to connect all the points that I marked like this. Okay, okay, so for my armhole I'm just going to make a slant, like a slant curve like just curve it so that it's not squared up like that. Okay, so this is what I have. I'm going to cut this out. Remember, this is the front. I'm going to use this to cut the back, taking note of the zipper allowance. And I'm just marking where I want my slit to be. So you measure from your hem to, you know just to what you want. Depends on your preference. Please, if you're watching up to this point, kindly hit on the like button and subscribe to this channel. If you're not, it's absolutely free. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to cut my neck, and while I'm cutting the shoulder, I'm going to add half inch to it, like I am doing. This is the joining allowance. Okay, remember we are adding a asoke to the sleeve and to the neck. So in total I used 3.5 years, or three years for this style. Yeah, 3 years. Yeah, and the soke, it comes by strips. I used one strip. So I've placed the front on the back on a folded piece of fabric, and I made sure I left about 1.5 inch of my zipper allowance, and then I cut out the neck using that 1 inch depth that I marked for the front. Okay, which is the depth of the back. Now I'm going to cut out the sides. Okay, and after cutting the sides, then I'm going to show you how to cut out the neckline for the front. Actually, I think I have about 2 videos where I showed explicitly how I cut out and sewed the neckline of that front, that built up neckline. So I think I'm going to link one of the videos here in case you want to watch how to really, like, where I actually showed step by step how to cut and how to sew it up in another video. All right, so I'm going to link it up here so you can just watch it if you feel like it. So on my zipper allowance, I on my waist for the bag, I came down by a quarter of an inch, and then I slanted it to my hip down, and then slanted it up to my chest line. Yeah, I did this to kind of eliminate the bulginess at the back when I eventually fix my zipper, so that it just follows the shape of my spine. If you watch my tutorials, you know that I like to do this a lot, even on my postures. That's the back, the zipper area, so that it just sits perfectly and follows the shape of your back, since your back is not straight. Okay, so I slashed my zipper allowance open for the back, and I have put the front and the back piece together. So I'm going to sew this up, right? Sew everything up, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. I didn't do step by step how to sew it. That's why I said I'm going to link up the video where I did step by step how to sew even the neckline up and everything, so that you can watch it. But I'm going to show you how to create the neckline for the front. Okay, so for the front, this is the front. I'm going to just, that our sleeve opening, which is 11 inches, which is the bust point. Actually, 11 inches the bust point of the client I'm working with, the measurement I'm working with. So I just drew a straight line up to the center front, and then on there I'm going to go in by 1 inch. Okay, go in by 1 inch, and then you're going to slant it to your neck width, like I am doing. All right, so you're going to cut this off. This is the neckline for the front. Remember, we attach the asoke to it. It's going to go all the way around by the time I join the front and the back. So what I did next is to create a notch on this side of that place, just half-inch notch. Now this is going to help you to join your asoke, and it's going to lay pretty much flat. Okay, so if you open it up, this is the front piece, this is what it's going to look like, and you have the notches on each side. All right, so I'm going to sew the front and the back up, sew the shoulders first, and then I'm going to attach the asoke, just join the front and the back, sew everything up actually, and then I'm also going to, yeah, this is what it looks like. I also went ahead to sew the velvet trim. I used 4 years of velvet trim for this. I sewed it on it, and here is what it looks like, guys. Yeah, this is the front. I think it looks pretty, as you saw in the video, the first video that I played. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope the cutting of this dress was a bit, I hope it was straightforward and clear. Please drop your comments in the comment section, hit on the like button, and I'll see you in my next one.